The Art of Apology: How to Say Sorry and Repair Relationships. If you've been stuck mostly at home with one or more family members over the past year, chances are you've gotten on one another's nerves occasionally. When you're under a lot of stress, it's not uncommon to say something unkind, or even to lash out in anger to someone you care about. And we all make thoughtless mistakes from time to time, like forgetting a promise or breaking something. Not sure if you should apologize? Even if you don't think what you said or did was so bad, or believe that the other person is actually in the wrong, it's still important to apologize when you've hurt or angered someone. To preserve or re-establish connections with other people, you have to let go of concerns about right and wrong. And try instead to understand the other person's experience, says Dr. Ronald Siegel, assistant professor of psychology at Harvard Medical School. How to apologize genuinely. Apologizing is rarely comfortable or easy, so if you're going to do it at all, make it count. Aaron Lazare, MD, a psychiatrist and dean of the University of Massachusetts Medical School, has spent years studying acts of contrition in every context, from interpersonal to international. He has found that, to be effective, most apologies need to contain the following elements. Full acknowledgement of the offense. Start by describing exactly what you did wrong, without avoiding the worst truths. Once the facts are out, acknowledge that your behavior violated a moral code. It doesn't matter whether you and the person you've hurt shares the same ethics. If you've broken your own rules, you're in the wrong. Accept responsibility. An explanation. A truthful explanation is your best shot at rebuilding a strong, peaceful relationship. The core deep explanation for your behavior is your key to changing for the better. Explanations help you and your victim understand why you misbehaved and assure both of you that the offense won't recur. Excuses merely deflect responsibility. Leave them out of your apology. Genuine expression of remorse. Anyone who has been on the receiving end of the comment, "I'm sorry you feel that way," knows the difference between sincere regret and an attempt to avoid responsibility for bad behavior. Few things are less likely to evoke forgiveness than apology without remorse. Reparations for damage. An apology includes real repair work, not just saying, "I'm sorry." Often there will be nothing tangible to repair. Hearts and relationships are broken more often than physical objects. In such cases, your efforts should focus on restoring the other person's dignity. The question, "What else do you want me to do?" can start this process. If you ask it sincerely, really listen to the answer and act on the other party's suggestions, you'll be honoring their feelings, perspective, and experience. The knowledge that one is heard and valued has incredible healing power. It can mend even seemingly irreparable wounds. When you really apologize, you should feel good about yourself. An effective apology is, as Lazare puts it, an act of honesty, an act of humility, an act of commitment, an act of generosity, and an act of courage. But there's no guarantee that the other person involved will share your warm fuzzies. The final gallant act of apology is to release your former victim from any expectation of forgiveness. No matter how noble you have been, he will forgive, or refuse to forgive, on his own terms. That is his right. Anne Lamott refers to forgiveness as giving up all hope of having had a different past. The same words apply to apologizing. An apology is the end of our struggle with history, the act by which we untangle from our past by accepting what it actually was. From this truthful place we are free to move forward, whether or not we are forgiven. Apologizing doesn't make us perfect, but it shows our commitment to be honest about our imperfections and steadfast in our efforts to do better. It reminds us of what Ally McGraw's love story character died too young to learn. That love means always being willing to say you're sorry. For an apology to be effective, it has to be genuine. A successful apology validates that the other person felt offended and acknowledges responsibility. You accept that your actions caused the other person pain. You want to convey that you truly feel sorry and care about the person who was hurt, and promise to make amends, including by taking steps to avoid similar mishaps going forward as in the examples below. Acknowledge the offense. Take responsibility for the offense, whether it was a physical or psychological harm, and confirm that your behavior was not acceptable. Avoid using vague or evasive language, or wording an apology in a way that minimizes the offense or questions whether the victim was really hurt. Explain what happened. The challenge here is to explain how the offense occurred without excusing it. Express remorse. If you regret the error or feel ashamed or humiliated, Say so. This is all part of expressing sincere remorse. Offer to make amends. For example, if you have damaged someone's property, have it repaired or replace it. When the offense has hurt someone's feelings, acknowledge the pain and promise to try to be more sensitive in the future. Making a heartfelt apology. The words you choose for your apology count. Here are some examples of good and bad apologies. It's easy to feel as though saying sorry is some kind of magic word or Jedi mind trick that, when executed correctly, can get you off the hook. Young children often first learn to trot out their sorry so quickly that they don't understand what they are saying sorry for. So what is an apology really for? When is it effective and why? Done right, an apology isn't only about the feelings of the recipient, it improves how the giver of the apology feels too. Perhaps most obviously, saying sorry to someone you have hurt, upset or wronged relieves your own guilt. Guilt stems from empathy for the victim of our actions. Without empathy, we have no reason to regret how our behavior negatively impacts others, but when we empathize, we share a little of what they feel. When we see the connection between their emotions and our actions, the regret that we feel is guilt. And if our apology can relieve the wronged person's distress, we also remove part of the recipe for our own guilt. A prompt and heartfelt apology can halt the erosion of trust in a relationship, and it can also build trust even where it has never yet existed. Apologizing sincerely is evidence of your integrity, and it is an opportunity for a meeting of minds. You don't need to have a prior relationship for that to be beneficial. Some of the firmest friendships are founded on a genuine apology and a mistake forgiven. When a person who has caused you loss expresses their contrition, it becomes much easier to empathize with them in return and offer them forgiveness. Like apologizing, forgiving can be as freeing for the forgiver as the forgiven. So when and how will an apology work? Fundamentally, when it genuinely restores accord, understanding and empathy, when the apologizer is acknowledging and seeking to understand the feelings of the recipient, and when the recipient is able to appreciate and accept the remorse and regret expressed. The pitfalls of a bad apology are many, but they all come back to that one standard. If you want to use an apology to move a relationship forward, don't try to apologize for something you are not sorry for. Even if you think that you can pull it off to be convincing to begin with, then the very fact that it is believed will put you into that new phase of the restored relationship and you will be found out. And then where will you be? Apologizing for the insincerity of your first apology. An apology spiral with ever-reducing chances of acceptability. The timing of your apology can give you away too. Don't apologize by rote so early that it is inspecific or looks like you are trying to deflect blame. Like the child who blurts out, "Sorry," over their shoulder as they continue to run headlong past the precious vase they smashed. Apologizing before you could possibly have understood or felt the consequences of what you have done will seem hollow and callous. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.